Oh, we moving, huh?
Yeah, it's that time. It's that time. And keep it going now. Let's keep it going now. Yeah, pretty cool. I just got the notification that we live on YouTube. It's all finally starting to match up.
Oh, so that's the delay time, huh?
Yeah, it's all starting to work. You know what I mean? You know, slowly but surely. So you know, get it going. All right. That I sent some work from my personal page. What's up, ladies? You know what song is underrated? I'm trying to figure out what show we're gonna be able to throw this on.
What's that?
It's absolutely a world-class wrecking crew. Turn off the lights. I'm trying to figure out when I can drop that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to spin the block on that hip hop thing.
I don't know. I listen to it and it's really like old school talking, like R&B. It's not even like it's so it's like, is it R&B? Is it rap? Like, I mean, first of all, they don't do nothing. Nobody talks well enough to call it rap. So
no, all it is that hardcore chorus with homegirl going off.
So that's what I'm saying. So the hardest, the most talented aspect of it would be the R&B part of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I gotta think it through. What up, good Doc D? You know what I'm saying? Much love.
What's going on, everybody? Good evening to you, good people.
Yeah. He like to let the beat build. Hey man, send this thing. There's a couple other people. Get them in here. Tell them to come through. Because we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk some stuff today. It's going. I think we're gonna ruffle some feathers. I don't know. I'm not super duper sure. So it's gonna be something. Gonna be starting something. Got to be starting something. Get higher, get lower. Yeah, yeah. Get over, get under. Yeah, yeah. Stuck in the middle. Yeah, yeah. Only thunder. Because I got some questions. I need to know where people stand on some things, man. No Mary talking today. We ain't got no Mary.
But here go. But here's a hint. There's a relationship.
Yeah. Big ups to DJ Flow in the building. Kappa number 1 DJ. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, DJ Flow still got a sick mixtape for Theoretically R&B on SoundCloud, man. That thing is
front end of Theoretically R&B, man. For real.
Yeah,
for real.
Absolutely.
Always.
All right, man. Look, let's get into this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Whoever coming, they gonna get here. We're gonna see what is popping. All right. Welcome to our weekly discussion show. This is In Theory. I am one of your hosts. I am Slap the Professor. As always, if you know the show, you know I ain't never rolling by myself. I got my tag team partner. We the Road Warriors. We the R&B Warriors. You know what I mean? I'm Hawk. He's Animal.
What's going on, y'all? It's JC, the Slow Song King Kong.
So, man, we're going to get this thing on and popping. First of all, before we get into it, I want to thank you guys for just kind of, tuning in, man. I've had some new listeners, that have come into the show, and they've been hitting they've been texting me, just telling me how much they love the show. And man, I just appreciate that. Whether that be that you're recruiting people to come in, or you sharing the love, or you shoot me or JC or the page a positive message, man, we really, really do appreciate it. Look, everybody needs a battery in their back, so we appreciate you guys for giving it to us. Anything you want to say on that front, JC, before we get into this?
No, man, it's all love. Like I said, the feedback, the comments, getting tagged in anything R&B on social media, theoretically R&B. What y'all think about this, man? Like, it's all starting to come together. So like I said, we appreciate you all leaning in. And we'll talk a little bit later about how you all leaned in, especially this week. But we really appreciate y'all.
All right. So what's happening in R&B? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, on Beyonce's good internet, you know what I'm saying? This came up talking about Jodeci and Boyz II Men, right? That it was an old quote from Devontae where he pretty much said that, listen, it's pretty much Boyz II Men and it's Jodeci, and everybody else are their children. Like, that's just the way that it works. That they don't have any peers. They didn't have any peers in their time. And that, you know, JC offers that they don't have any peers, you know what I mean, pretty much coming after. So what say you? Let's just get right into it.
Are Jodeci and Boyz II Men the end all be all, and everybody else is birthed from that movement?
That is correct.
So we talked about this a little bit, man, and I think the larger problem I have with this, I agree to an extent with him. I don't think he said it correctly. He didn't say it nicely or with a smile, but I'm not mad at what he said. The part that I have a problem with, I think, and I sat with it, is that he's not even acknowledging those that came before him. Like R&B groups began with Jodeci and Boyz II Men. And that's the part I think I have an issue with more so than anything else.
Well, so I think that if you think that you're a king, you know, you honor probably, you know, you may honor your father's rule, but you try to literally talk about that your rule is your rule. So maybe it just comes in that sense, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, King Arthur V doesn't, you know what I mean? You know, he already wears the title, so it's no real reason to talk about anybody that came before that. Like, what we're going to talk about is what's present, right? And there is no one after us. Now, he made this statement, and I think it's kind of crazy. He made the statement in 1995. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if things
I didn't know that.
Yes, it's attributed to a Vibe article. So it's not like it was something that, so it really was him talking about it at his time. Like that's why you see UNV, right? UNV is in that mix because ain't nobody mentioned UNV.
So that's another dangerous thing about the internet. Is somebody will come pull some shit up that happened 20 years ago and now you got to answer for it. So that means he probably said that when he was 22, 23 years old.
Fair enough. So let's ask the question flat out. To the theorists out there logged on today, do you think that Jodeci and or Boyz II Men have peers? Are there any groups that you would put up there with them and say, yeah? Or is it them and then everybody else?
What do you say? Do you think there are groups that parallel them? Now, or then, or now?
I do actually. I mean, again, I stand firm on saying that, you know, Dru Hill absolutely has enough music that I think rivals them. I stand very firm that I think 112 has never made a bad album, and that, you know, that they can stand, you know what I'm saying, strong with the big boys. The most interesting thing is that I think as far as like harmonization, I don't know if like anybody messes with Boyz II Men, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think Shy came close with that kind of doo-wop sound, right? I mean, you know, If I Ever Fall in Love was different. But I mean, when you talk about just the quality of music, I believe that 90s, early 2000s super groups, it is Jodeci, Boyz II Men, 112, Dru Hill, with Jagged Edge trying to fight their way into that group.
I mean, one thing, and again, we talked about this, is do you have to have a certain amount of music to even be included in the discussion?
You should. I mean, they said their reach is comparable. Whose reach is comparable with them? Tiffany on here talking about, I mean, she Dru Hill. I mean, Baltimore stand up. You never gonna get
Dru Hill, and you've been there long enough. You talking crazy. So I'm gonna be like I said. I'm not going to negate Dru Hill at all, yo. But for me, I'm gonna agree. Like it is some.
It's them and everybody else.
But I think 112, yeah, like 112 is my next group behind those two. I think.
Okay.
Dru Hill rivals them. I guess we're not talking about, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, is this just a whole nother category when we talk about a new edition, or are they there? Like,
so that's what I mean. So, Dia saying like, hey, yo, like they were on TV shows. I mean, I don't know if that matters. I know that there's probably nothing more timeless than the Martin Jodeci scene. I think it was pretty awesome. But I mean, I don't necessarily, whether or not you make it on the TV doesn't really matter to me. Like
Jagged Edge might have called an episode of Moesha or something. I'm not quite sure. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. They might have some cameos out here. I had to think about it.
I mean, Cisco was in movies. I mean, if that counts for anything, he was in movies. I mean, so man,
the cameos were big though. So I mean, okay. So to the extent that New Edition definitely hit television, right? And they were included in episodes. Family Matters, I can remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I don't know, but does that, like you said, when we're talking about R&B groups? Well, I guess it does. It means because then they were able to take it to another level or another stage.
I definitely can see Jagged Edge being Jodeci's children. I can go with that.
Okay.
That is
absolutely.
I can rock with that. Where's 112? Is 112 more Boyz II Men?
Child of Jodeci or Boyz II Men?
Yeah.
I would have to say they're closer to Boyz II Men.
Okay.
On the clean cut, smooth tip. Like, you know what I mean? Like they presented a cleaner image.
I think 112 is literally like the combination of them both. Like,
yeah, they're actually that's more so they're the perfect combination. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are there any groups that you think are overlooked in this conversation that like people don't really like fall on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that they were a good group and people just gloss over them all the time?
I have groups that I love, but I will say that they don't have enough music to be in the conversation.
I just want to let you know someone just said that Jagged Edge is overrated.
I'm not super, but I was just in a Jagged Edge bag last night. They do have hits. Let's not play this game.
You can't say a group is overrated and also say that you were in their bag.
I didn't say they were overrated, did I?
No, I was just saying if you started to lean towards it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, overrated means you ain't got no bag.
So I can get how sometimes someone might have that feeling. But last night I did a deep dive. I was on the ride home, and I was like, I can't discount the fact that Jagged Edge has hits.
Yeah, Jagged Edge is like their music isn't all my type of hype, but they got hits. All right. I mean, look, man.
No, they don't. Dia said, no, they don't.
I know. The people are being a little more quiet. Y'all being shy, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where y'all getting shy from. Like, you know what I mean? Like these comments up. This show is for y'all. All right. So here we go. This is the part. I want to hear your thoughts on cancel culture. So I've gotten into a couple of debates over the last several weeks. And I blame you because you put R. Kelly in one of our promos, and somebody came back and was just like, theoretically R. Kelly. And I was like, well, what do you? And so they were just like, I mean, you didn't cancel R. Kelly. And I was trying to really, first of all, saying that Pretty Ricky is overlooked is you made me stop in my tracks with that comment, yo. Yo, oh my God. All right, let me reset. Now that was a good comment. All right. But saying that, like, you know what I'm saying, people kind of so there's two levels of cancel culture, right? There's the level by which I think you either agree or disagree with what someone did and you decide not to play their music. Okay. Then there's the second level where people start like wagging their finger at you because you like the music. Like, where do you sit with that? Where do you sit with cancel culture?
I don't think I subscribe to a cancel culture. However, I am respectful of other people's feelings about it. There's some things that, especially if we're talking about music or impact, which is our bag, I'm not going to erase R. Kelly from. For instance, if we're talking about 1995, R. Kelly dropped a huge R&B album that year. So if we're talking about R. Kelly, if we're talking about 1995, I may mention R. Kelly. Whether or not I listen to R. Kelly, there's, of no consequence, I don't think. But what I will say is that I'm respectful of other people's feelings about it. Now, when we have discussions and I specifically ask people to give me a song that they like, if somebody tells me R. Kelly, I will post it, right? But I think you do have to be respectful of people's feelings about it because of what it could be linked to or traumas that it could be connected to.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate your consideration for other people's feelings. How do you feel about when people tell you that you shouldn't be listening to R. Kelly?
I mean, you can tell me whatever you want to. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't. Again, that's your opinion. And I'll take it with a grain of salt or not, depending on what your argument is. I'm also, intelligent enough. If you provide me with some information or a viewpoint that might shift my thinking, I can rock with that. But I don't understand how an individual listening to music changes anything for you, individual. You know what I mean? Like, what is me listening to R. Kelly or you listening to R. Kelly? How should that affect our relationship? If somebody can explain that to me, that's fine. But if I was against somebody or the actions of R. Kelly, because you choose to listen to him, is not going to affect me one way or the other. It's not going to make me judge you as a different type of person, I don't think.
So it's interesting, right? Because I think about like people who like, right, when you like talk about things like racism, right? It's like, well, if you stand with, you know what I'm saying, racism, you don't stand with me, right? So I don't know if like people feel that way about the actions of R. Kelly and didn't feel like that if you don't make a stance against this person's personal stuff, then you're making an acceptance of what they do. And I know that artistry is very different than like politics, or artistry is very different from maybe philanthropy. I don't know, right? Because what I do kind of really understand about this, and that's why I always say that it's an interesting piece. Like, I know people who call like other like black men, like they use the C word, right? When they think that this person's doing something against black culture, you know what I mean? Or against black people. And I always think about that in the sense that I'm like, yeah, but then y'all are pump music about somebody that just told you that he killed 6 people and it sold 16 kilos of drugs. You know what I'm saying? Which one's more dangerous? This person in their words or this person in their actual actions, particularly people who admitted to or have the record of doing these particular things, right? So but then I live in the place of and I don't know who made the statement, but that, people will never forget how you made them feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about that when it comes to music. And the thing that I can't ever erase is how a song, before I knew anything about anybody's personal stance, about how that song made me feel. And that's the hardest thing that I have in relationship to cancel culture. I understand what people are telling me, but I also understand how I feel or how I felt in that moment. And so I struggle with that.
I agree, and I like so like the a narrative is, how can you listen to this when it may have been written about this subject matter, right? And I'm like, I think people build their own connections to music, right? Or you loved it or didn't love it for a particular reason, and you have your own connections to it, right? And I wholeheartedly agree. I can't erase my connections to music or meanings that the music has for me. Um, that doesn't mean I don't 100% condemn the actions of the author, right?
Yeah.
But those emotions, those feelings that we talk about through music or that we speak of, um, that music brings from us or allows us to, experience. I can't get rid of those. So I don't, it's a piece of art that I have my own connections to.
So I mean, like Honey 1978, she was like, I'm never, she called him the king of R&B, right? Toy
Mhm.
Joy 92, 95. I'll never stop listening to his music, right? Dia just talked about that she tried to give it up for a while and then she all of a sudden kind of swung back to it, right? You know what I mean? And Dia makes another great point that he has songs with other artists, right? Like my thought
That's true.
process in this is like, yo, how deep do people go with this, right? And like, how deep are you going not only with artists that you know of their personal, but how deep are you digging into other artists, right? And banding them, right?
Where's
I
the
mean,
line? Right.
right, right. Like, I mean, jokingly, Teddy P, the joke always was that Teddy P crashes Rolls Royce getting hit by, you know what I'm saying, a woman who wasn't born a woman, right? Like, just because that's not my type of hype or his sexual preference, and then now maybe I need to rethink the songs that he wrote. Does that change how I feel about Love TKO? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. I think that there's just like this aspect of, just because you don't necessarily believe the action, or maybe you don't believe in the messenger, but that you can still relate to the message. But I
That's
again, I
huge.
don't.
So that quote that you just said right there, don't shoot the messenger, because people use that all day in the church.
They do. They do. I
I'm just the
mean, so
messenger. I mean, yeah, it's a slippery slope, man. My thing is, I don't like, I'm with you in that I just don't like the closed-mindedness around it. Are we allowed to have a conversation about it versus you automatically um discounting anybody else's opinion because of the way you feel?
right. And I mean, that's up there. Imagine we stopped listening to anything that came from Bad Boy, right? I mean, that's why I got the Love album up there. By the way, I mean, before you cancel Diddy, or if you already did, I don't know. But the Love album was a fantastic piece of work. Like, that
It
was a real
absolutely was.
R&B, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, again, I put Chris Brown up here too. I know people who've canceled Chris Brown, right? Like, and it's just like, yo, like, and then there's people who don't. I think my issue lies in is that cancel all you want on your personal choice. You know what I'm saying? It is. Listen, God gave you 2 ears. You right? They don't belong to nobody but you. You can choose what you want to listen to. I think it's just the opinion of others. But again, you also know where you stand. And if you feel like that someone who does that isn't your people, I think you also have the right to. You have a right to choose who your friends are. You have a right to choose, but I think that it stops where you choose what your friends do, or people you associate with do. And that's where I draw the line. It's like, yo, don't finger wag at the easy sin that you can see, as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, really, you know what I mean, like, we all, what is it, let those without sin cast the first stone. Like, you know what I mean, be really careful about how you throw around, your weight of opinion on what should be canceled and what shouldn't.
I get it though, man, because like you said, when you brought up, racism or transphobia or any other isms and things that we speak to, I get it, man. Like, because some people's position or stance in those spaces will cause me to draw a hard line, right? So I can't explain why music is different, except for, like you said, my personal feelings. So I understand somebody also being willing to draw
a personal
that
feeling.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's that, and I think that's what we talked through, right? Is that we all, what I'm saying, we all have a personal journey. And inside of that journey, you decide what the soundtrack of it is. You know what I'm saying? Again, Bobby Womack is a piece of crap. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But his music was woo.
But a woman gotta have it, baby. If you throw that thing on.
What I was saying. I mean, that's what I'm trying to talk about.
I don't know. So. It's a slippery slope. But I'm glad y'all chimed in on that. Like
being a predator, and being a predator is never good. You know what I'm saying?
Not cool. It's not. But now, like, my thing is, like, this, and this is another. It's so many different variables, right? We decided to cancel R. Kelly when this whole trial thing happened, but we knew about supposed and alleged nonsense since 95, 94, right? Like, so when do we make these decisions of cancellation? Like,
and I'm gonna say this, and this is real social justice. So I'm gonna say this real easy, right? If we did a better job of calling out God daggone Stewart and Mike, we wouldn't get to the level of Robert and Sean. Like, we can't keep letting things go by for so long in our neighborhood that we've looked at, or in our families that we've looked at.
Sure I asked you who the hell Stewart was.
These are names. Yeah, they're just made up names.
Okay. All right, Stewart.
You know what I'm saying? And my piece is that, you know what I'm saying, you didn't let Raheem get away with this all these years. You know what I'm saying? And then now you got a soapbox to stand on. And I get the whole piece of that, like, you know better, so you do better. But my whole piece is that know better and do better in a place that's just not as safe from a keyboard or your phone. Like, let's really start calling out, you know what I'm saying, these predators, because real rap is that, like, you can't get as big as, these other cats if we start calling them out on a local level. You know what I mean?
It's a lot closer to home than R. Kelly. We can do some of the groundwork a lot closer to home. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, that's just my thoughts on that. I personally don't believe in cancel culture. Huh?
That's heavy. And you called me out here. I wasn't ready. Listen, man. I didn't prepare the argument.
Well, anyway, I don't believe in cancel culture. I believe that, you know what I'm saying, people have a choice. And if enough people decide not to listen, then you get canceled. But I don't have to blatantly go out and tell someone to cancel something that, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. People fizzle out. X-Trey songs. All right. So now, last episode, man. Who listened to the episode? We always got to keep talking to y'all about this. 1995.
Jumped in the time machine.
We jumped in the DeLorean and we came out in 1995. Back to the future. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, is it really 30? Stop saying that, yo. Golly.
30 years old. These songs we talked about this week are 30 years old.
I should have went and put my Coogi sweater on. I should go back upstairs and go put it on. 30 years ago, man. Like, can you remember that long ago? I sent this message to people just like, you remember 1995? And people replied to me telling me, I was 5 then. I'm like, Yeah, I'm saying, but 1995, yo, what was your jam? And if you listen to the show, you can steal one of the songs off of the show. What was your jam, 1995?
Where were you?
What was your favorite? What was your favorite song from 1995 from the show?
Man, that's very difficult, man. Because even the 3 albums you have up there,
Yeah,
D'Angelo, I like I said, I probably went through a couple copies of that thing. I know I played the hell out of that Jodeci album. Like, no, I had that on tape. I remember that. Right. So I burned a hole in a lot of 1995 music, man. You know what I'm saying? Red Light Special, was that 95? That was, I want to say that was 94, but
yeah,
that era of music was ridiculous, man. Like,
it all blurred together. You know what I'm saying?
the thing is,
that's what
we were never at a deficit. Like, it was always back to back to back. Like, heavy hitters were dropping, man.
Yeah, it definitely was 94. So JC with the off the top of the dome call out. Yeah, I'm saying, I like that one right there, brother.
They trying to tell you.
Yeah, no, the Escape joint was right. I'm gonna go ahead and say, all right, JC's gonna hate me for saying this, right? I believe the most influential song in that joint was "This Is How We Do It." It might have been the strongest song, yeah.
Okay, let's define strongest.
I mean, as far as spins, as far as like what it got,
the most reach.
Yeah, it was the most popular song.
Oh my god!
Like, that's crazy.
And I'm not, good brother Montel. I'm a fan. It irritates me that that's the piece of his work that is pedestal so highly when he has so much stuff that's better than that, yo. But I mean, I get it. It gets the party popping. It gets the people excited. It's unifying.
I mean, listen, man. I think that is just one of them joints where like it do what it do. My favorite track though, of them all is probably "Ask of You," and I think that I didn't like that was probably of the songs that we covered. "Ask of You" was probably my favorite of them, and also made me go, "Dang, I need to listen to that song more." Like, it was really that good.
Thank you, Tori. It's annoying at this point, but we can settle at that. We can settle at if we went back and forth. I think we could settle at "Ask of You." That was a jam, bro.
Yo, the comment said, "Yo, old heads be out there sweating." This is how we do it.
Exactly. It's just got some bad memories, some bad feelings attached to it. It's annoying. Exactly. It's in the same vein as Return of the Mac. It's like, here we go.
Oh, don't disrespect Return of the Mac. Don't do that to me.
Type of jam. I agree, Miss Dixon. Thank you. It's the same type of jam, bro.
Don't
you know
do
what?
That.
It may just be that it got played so much that I try to stay outside of the mainstream of, you want to hear something different, right? That might have got played too much for me. I don't know.
I gotta vote in for "Don't Take It Personal." So "Don't Take It Personal." I saw "Escape" being a favorite song. I went Raphael. What you got? What was your favorite?
Me?
Yeah, what was your favorite of them?
I think I'm gonna lean towards. You see, on the show we talked about the Brown Sugar album. My favorite song on that album is "Dreaming Eyes of Mine." Me and Those Dreaming Eyes of Mine. I played that song so damn much, man. So that's my jam from '95.
Okay, we ain't even talk about that, but that's fine. That's fair. All right. So what song? I mean, so you absolutely getting rid of "This Is How We Do It"? You gotta get your groove on.
Yeah, it's got to go. If I had to get rid of one without question, it's "This Is How We Do It."
You smoking that good old Shinola, boy. I don't know what you talking about.
That Shinola.
Jordan, This Is How We Do It is definitely staying. So that's your song to get rid of.
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of After 7, bro. You can have it.
You must be
Take
crazy.
Take it. Take it right where you at. You can have it.
Can y'all please let me know how you feel about After 7? Because Slap been getting on me.
Runner up. Yo, first of all, you definitely use aftershave and got a number one dad pendant hanging off your chest if you like After 7. Like, yo, it's just the way it is.
After 7 got hit.
Yo, right, old people. Yo,
no, man.
All of you got pantsuits. You don't have suits, you got pantsuits, bro. You got a shirt with a monk collar.
Monk collar.
Hey, I tell you what, if we can get more than 5 people to say they After 7 fans, I'm with it. And I already got one After 7 gotta go. So what else you got?
I got one. Wait a minute, they were tough though. Stop playing.
Who you ain't keeping After 7 over. Let's just run through the list. Okay, I'm gonna run through the list really quick for you guys. All right. Here are the songs that we covered in 1995. Groove Theory, Tell Me. Freaking You, Jodeci. Love You for Life, Jodeci. Monica, Don't Take It Personal. Soul for Real, Candy Rain. Moke and Steph, He's Mine. I Like by Cut Close. R. Kelly, You Remind Me of Something. John B. Someone to Love. Brownstone, Grapevine. Raphael Sadiq, Ask of You. Faith Evans, Used to Love Me. Escape, Who Can I Run To? D'Angelo, Cruising. After 7 Till You Do Me Right. Mariah Carey, Fantasy, and Montel Jordan, This Is How We Do It. The weakest link on there is After 7.
Absolutely not. After 7 comes before the Montel Jordan album and the Candy
Not
Rain.
at all. No, and
Soul for Real and Montel Jordan. I ain't gonna lie, you threw some hands there, but they're not the weakest link on that list.
They are the weakest link on that list.
I need to. They are. What was the song? What song did you say for After 7?
After 7 was Someone to Love. No, that was John B. After 7 Till You Do Me Right.
That's a
what are you talking about?
Okay. All right. Now listen.
I'm not got another vote for After. Look, After 7 also gotta go. That's 2. Toy Joy, another After 7 gotta go.
Hurt my feelings. I can't remember who After 7 is.
So let me Google real quick.
Oh my God. All right. I'll go with Popular Opinion, but y'all slipping.
Yo, I'm just telling you is that I'm not saying, I'm just saying on that list, they gotta go. Ain't nobody in our group playing After 7.
That's bullshit. I can't agree with that.
Yo, Tiffany just said it wasn't their gospel, yo.
Huh?
Hey, look, my happiness is key. By tell getting another vote.
Take 6.
You get another vote. You gotta get your groove on.
What else on that album? Heat of the Moment. Baby, I'm for real.
Bro. Stop. Yo, let me tell you something.
Wanna Love You Right? Nights Like This? Y'all tripping.
Good music. I brought it for my mom, though. I brought the tape for my mom, though. That's all I'm telling you. It didn't get no play in my Sony Walkman. That's all I'm telling you. My Discman didn't have.
I'll say okay. I will give you that. At 15, however old I was at 95, I wasn't walking down the street listening to. I grew into After 7. I'll admit it.
Do you imagine how you would have got beat up if about we could steal your Discman? It had an After 7 in it. Yo, you know how mad I would be.
Point taken. I grew into After 7. I'll say that.
Yo, hold up. Or you getting a groove on in the lunchroom and somebody like, yo, let me hear what you got.
Right, can't stop.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll agree. I'll agree.
Yeah, our After 7 was dope, but it was for the older crowd, not us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
Well, are we talking about that though? After 7 got in the game when they were like damn near 40.
Oh God, yo, that made me laugh a little bit. That's funny. I
Okay.
can only imagine somebody taking your headphones.
And you got Heat of the Moment playing? All right, point taken. I hear you.
Yo, you would get no more bird nowhere. All right. Okay, so here's the last part. Last part. There are 3 artists that had a debut album 1995. It's D'Angelo, Faith Evans, and it's Monica. Of those 3, who music gotta go? Like, who could you deal without? Like,
debut albums. You talking about their music or those albums?
I'm talking about all of their music. What artists gotta go? I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the spot. They're not gonna get it the way we get it on the show, so they ain't gonna get the same options. They gotta listen to the show for that.
So those are the 3 artists that debuted in '95. Who gotta go? All of their music. It's
their music.
It's very simple for me, actually.
I know it's very simple for you. They need to listen to catch what you would say. All right. So D'Angelo, Faith Evans, or Monica, who gotta go?
That's wild, though. And only because these 3 were the debut artists in '95.
That is correct. Yeah. So let's see where the drum roll, please. Where my people at?
Tiff, you old for saying trim. She said you wasn't getting no trim with After 7. Yeah.
All she needed to throw was Jack on the back of that. You ain't getting no trim with After 7 Jack. All right, we got 1 vote for Monica, 2 votes for Monica. Monica.
Let me just jump in. I'm going with y'all, yo. Monica.
You going with Monica?
I'm absolutely going with Monica out of those 3.
Oh. Monica got some good stuff. Y'all might need to go back and listen to Monica, yo.
She definitely does.
She has some good stuff. Oh, that D'Angelo can go. There's a D'Angelo joint.
Man.
Oh, there's a
yeah.
Hey, Reese, JC getting ready. Cut you smooth now. He can't take no D'Angelo.
Y'all hurting my feelings, man. I listen.
That's only one person that said it. God, wait, 2. We got 2. There's 3 Monica, 2 D'Angelo.
And one of the Monicas is me in the comments, so we could take that out. Monica and D'Angelo running neck and neck right now. Who gotta go?
Oh man, I see. Well, we're gonna break this tie up here. You know what I'm saying? Who gotta go
to break the tie?
I guess it's obvious that Faith is staying.
Faith is staying.
Is anybody cutting Faith? Anybody? I think Faith is so good. She's so good,
especially that debut album, man.
Oh, it can roll with the big man. Again, I don't want to be a dead horse and tell you how much I really, really appreciate that album, but how much I really appreciate every R&B artist on Bad Boys debut album. I don't think they made a bad one for nobody. I think we're going. I don't know. People are real shy. They real shy. All right, so you said Monica. I'm gonna go with Monica too. So I'll jump in there and break the tie, but it's really hard for me. I really do love Monica.
I do too, man. And she has some powerhouse records. That is some joints. What's that one? You're Everything to Me. That's why I said it may have even been different if you talked about. No, it's not different, but
you about to rephrase the question? Just the same question?
No, I'm not rephrasing the question because even if you talk about their debut albums, I'm still not. Monica still is the one that gets cut for me.
Okay, all right. People that got shy, they don't want to jump out there, and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? All right. So what's dropping at 12 a.m.? You know what I mean? When Wednesday turns into Thursday, we got Listener's Choice, guys. You see, I put the music box logo up there. You like that? You know what I'm saying? Take you back to simpler days when the box was jamming.
Right.
That was 1995 too, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we damn sure some of those songs I remember.
Right. So, so this wasn't about us. It was about you guys. So all of our listeners, if you follow the Instagram page, if you weigh in, this was for you. We were very specific. We asked our listeners some songs that you guys wanted us to cover, or artists that we hadn't talked about. And so we reached out, and you guys, jumped in there. So, you're going to have to listen to the show. You get a shout out on the show if your song made the cut. So, but I'm willing to jump out there right now and tell you what my favorite song was by a listener. And then I'm going to ask JC to do the same. All right. So, what you got, JC?
You said you were going to jump out there first, and then you were going to ask.
I did. I did say that. All right. Only because he was pestering us so much about this song and he felt so strongly about it. I'm going with Uncle Sam from Uncle Pudge. I don't ever want to see you no more. Probably the most diabolical flow song quite possibly ever made. We finally put him on there, and it was good. Oh man, somebody wanted to drop Faith Evans. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we gotta. I was gonna tell you, we gotta vote for dropping Faith Evans in '95.
Oh my goodness. But still my heart. All right. So that was my song. What you got?
So my favorite, I think, was the segment where we got to talk about some of the old head doo-wop groups, right? So we got into Bloodstone, we got into some Blue Magic, and we got into the Dramatics based on a comment that we don't talk about the old heads enough. And y'all know I'm old anyway, so we got a opportunity to talk about some of their music. So that was a good time for me.
Yeah, and we go a long way back is that's my jam. Yeah. Me and you, girl.
Yeah, you got to snap to that.
You got a long way back. That joint got some.
That was fun, man.
Yeah. Nah, that was some fire stuff.
That was brown.
Listen, man, you guys gotta continue with just doing it big. The bigger you guys can do it, the bigger that we can do it. Keep listening to the show. Keep running the numbers up. I'm telling you guys, we're about to get into a position where, like, we're gonna be able to do some real things, and and I want to be able to reserve a section that literally just states, theorists. And that's what I want to see. So the people who stay with us, engage with us, keep doing the things, man. We want to do something special for you guys, and we're building towards it. I promise you that we got some really, really dope stuff coming up. We have the Omega Sci-Fi Wine Fest that we are definitely covering. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and give the details of that, and I'll make sure that it is thrown up on our page, coming up. But we got that going on. What is the date on that? Make sure I don't misquote the good dates of these good brothers. JC, give me some filler.
I'm working. I was looking for the date as well.
I got it. Here it is. It is on August the 31st from 2:30 to 8:30, Labor Day weekend. We're gonna be out there. Moo Fresh is one of the performers. Deborah Bond, Nelly's Echo, King Dre, and yours truly, Theoretically R&B. We're gonna be out there doing a segment. It's gonna be at Bordy Winery. The tickets are still on sale. Again, check our story for it. We're gonna be out there. Hey, listen, we gotta figure out some kind of giveaway, and we gotta figure out some kind of competition to give away a bottle of wine. So we're gonna give away a bottle of wine on that day. You know what I mean? So let's make sure that you come out, because we're gonna be out there with the good brothers of Omega Sci-Fi. So
enjoying the
so it's the Theta Moo.
That's a good combination.
Yeah, listen, man, R&B and wine. What other better combination can there be? Yeah. So We're gonna be out there getting busy, man. So just remember, just again, we'll get more opportunities like this the more you guys keep running it up. All right. So 12 a.m. you can find us anywhere. On Apple, you can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Where else can they find us, JC? Did I name all of this?
Audible, SoundCloud, man. We are literally everywhere, man. Whatever your fix is, wherever you stream music, wherever you do your audio books, you can find Theoretically R&B, y'all. So we're asking you, let that episode ride 15 to 20 minutes throughout the week. We're not gouging for numbers, but it does help, to show that, the show is gaining more and more traction. And the numbers are going up, and we appreciate that. And we just want you all to continue to lean in, share it with a friend, and tell them to listen to it for 15 to 20 minutes.
And have conversations about it, man. It's a great conversation piece, man. Like,
I have a book groups, have an R&B group. You know what I mean? Have a Theoretically R&B group. Talk. It's a great conversation starter.
And after you listen to it once, listen to it on something else. If you got Spotify and Amazon, listen to it on both of them. We'll take all of it.
Somebody and tell them to listen to it or ask them a question from it. And then after you listen to it, y'all, we'll take honest feedback. If you like the episode, leave a comment, leave a like. And that's it, y'all. Like I said, I really, really appreciate it. Things are starting to catch. So just continue, y'all. Thank you all very much.
All right, y'all. Hey, listen, man, it's been In Theory this week. Hey, man, you guys have been great in the comments today. We appreciate the commentary. We appreciate you guys, just offering up your opinions. Remember, man, it's your safe space for R&B and R&B discussion. So if you say it, we with it, man. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing it's our love language. And look, man, if it's your love language too, hey, man, we just all going to be a loving community in the R&B space, man. So we want to continue doing this. And with that being said, man, I'm Slap the Professor.
JC, the Slow Song King Kong.
Hey, man, with Theoretically R&B. Hey, remember, this week's Listener's Choice. Let's get it.